Hey, you guys. I'm here today and I thought we would have a little chat and I would do a video for you guys. And the topic that I decided that I wanted us to talk about was the importance of self love and how to obtain self love. And I know that I've done videos in the past and I used the same topic and I touched on this topic quite a bit. But in my defense, I think this is a very important thing to talk about, and it is worthy of being repeatedly talked about. And I know I do tend to sound like a broken record sometimes. I will repeat things over and over. And I apologize if that's annoying to anyone, but I guess that's just my way. And each and every one of us have our ways. But usually, if I do, repeat something, it's something that, to me, something that I hold important within my heart. And like I've said before, with these videos, I just felt that this was somehow my calling, I guess you could say, to teach and to share and to grow. And that's all that we can do, is to try to be better today than we were yesterday. And we're always striving to be the best me or the best you or the best us that we can be. And the way to do that is to grow and to learn and to share. And in doing that, that is how we evolve. And if you don't accomplish anything else in life, I ask you to please try to accomplish the act of evolving, because that is what makes us who we are. That's what makes us become a better who we are, if that makes any sense to you guys. But like I said, I wanted to talk with you about self-love, and I've brought a few things with me. You guys know I always do an incense to clear the space, and I always bring some stones. Well, that's not changed. I've got just a couple other things that I wanted to include, and I'm gonna briefly show them to you as we talk, and I'm gonna try to keep it moving. But this is just a cone incense that I'm using today, and it's actually dragon's blood. And I just chose it mainly for the property of protection, because I feel that self-love, that is a property that we need to have when we are trying to achieve self-love, because you can't achieve it if you are leaving yourself to be open to negativity, and that's with any type of spiritual work or anything you're trying to achieve in your life. So I just thought that the dragon's blood was appropriate for our discussion today. And I've also got some spray, so I'm not gonna linger on clearing the space with this incense, but I do have this little shell, and I'm gonna use it as my incense holder. And it's one I picked up on a beach trip last year. And shells have magical properties as well, just as crystals and stones do. And one of the properties of seashells is, of love. They're good to use in love magic, in love spells. And, it doesn't have to be in a romantic type of love spell. It can be in a spell of self-love. But I just thought I would, put that out there. But first, I'm going to start with my spray. And as a lot of you know, I buy a lot of my tools and ingredients and things that I use, but I also make a lot of them. In fact, probably 90% of my, things that I use in my craft, I make, and I enjoy making them. And I truly believe that intention is everything. So things that you make or things that someone has made, and they've put their love in it, they've put intention in it, they've put, their hard work in it, those things are the best things to use. Those things they're your most magical tools, your most magical ingredients. So I always say, things that you receive as gifts, things that people make for you, things you make yourself, anything that has intention placed upon it or that is made with love, that's one of the best things that you can include in your spell work. And this is just simply, it's a meditation spray that I made. And it's got a really fine mist, but I promise it is spraying. I don't even think you can hardly hear it. But it's something that I made up, and I use it quite often during meditation, but I also just use it to mist around during spell work and things of that nature, because it does have peppermint in it, and it does have lavender essential oil. And as you know, lavender is like one of those ingredients that's like one for all. It has so many properties, and I used it for the calming type of property it has, because I thought of meditation or spell work, you want to center and you want to be calm, and you want to be mellow, because you don't want to let your thoughts run wild. You don't want to let your emotions get the best of you, because when you are trying to meditate or do spell work, you want to stay focused, as best you can. But we are human, and nothing we do is going to be done perfectly. But moving on, it's got the peppermint oil in it, and peppermint is very cleansing, and it's also a soothing and calming effect as well. So I just thought those two would go good together, for a meditation spray. And as always, I've got a few little crystals in there, which are, I've got a little piece of fluoride in there, and I've got a little piece of amethyst in there, and a little piece of clear quartz, and it's actually like some chips that I've got that something you may use in jewelry making, but I like the little small ones like that because they're just ideal to add to your sprays and oils. But moving on, because I will get sidetracked, and I apologize. Another thing I brought is just a white handkerchief. This belonged to my grandmother, and as a lot of you know, she is my mommy witch. She's the one that taught me and helped me grow in my craft. And, I will always love her for that, and I will always, have gratitude to her for that. But she has passed on, and this is just a little something that she taught me, and this was actually her little hanky, and this is what she used it for. But it is so simple, and it works perfectly. You can take it on the go, you can use it anywhere. And if you are afraid for someone to know exactly what you're doing and you're trying to be discreet, but you can simply take and flick it, and by doing so, you're getting rid of any negative energy or vibes that's hanging around you. And you can just think in your mind, you're clearing your space. If you want to say a few words, I usually, I may say something just as simple as negativity, flee from me. Negativity, leave me be. And you know, you can say it once, twice, 3 times. You can say it the entire time, or you can say nothing at all. Like I said, intention is key, and whatever is in your heart and whatever is on your mind, that's what counts. And just another backup to clearing your space of any negative energy, and just something I wanted to share with you guys. So now stones. I brought, and you would think with the discussion of self-love that I would have the rose quartz and the clear quartz and maybe the amethyst, but I decided to go another route because, and I'm going to go ahead and start our discussion too, but I want to say this starting the discussion. Self-love is commitment to yourself, you know, honoring yourself, appreciating yourself, seeking ways to grow, you know, getting to know yourself, improving yourself, and most importantly, seeking happiness, which takes me to my next thing that I wanted to say to you. I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words, and which will explain why I chose the stones that I have chosen. But happiness is key to self-love. And you know, happiness is nothing more than a state of well-being, and it's defined by positive emotions. And you know, in our case, being witchy, it's being defined by positive emotions, but also by positive energy, positive vibes. And that's why I decided to go another route with the stones that I wanted to include. And I've got this little palm stone here, and it's just a flat palm stone of jasper. And I chose jasper because jasper is what I call a warm stone. It's a nurturing stone. It's very, very grounding. And if you are seeking, you know, comfort and peace, and, you know, and in doing so, you want to center yourself and clear yourself, you know, jasper is a good stone. Jasper is a happy stone. And I just thought, you know, the little jasper palm stone would be perfect to include. And then I've got 3 little smile stones here. Let's see if you can see them, but 3 little smile stones, and they're yellow agate. And yellow agate is a great stone for happiness. It has other properties as well, but I chose it simply for its properties of happiness, because like I said, happiness is the key to achieving self-love. And I've got one other stone, and what it is some more smile pieces, but please don't be fooled. You know the saying, you know, big things come in small packages, and these are just some smoky quartz points, and they're just some little small ones, and I guess they would probably be ideal for jewelry making. But I love crystals, all sizes, all shapes, colors, you know, textures. I love them all. And for me, in my craft, in doing spell work, stones are a must. But they're, you know, these are grounding stones, but they're very, very protective stones. Smoky quartz is one of the best stones to use to rid yourself of negativity. And if you are trying to put up a fence of protection, smoky quartz is wonderful for that. And somehow or another, my little key here, it got thrown into the mix with the stones, and this key just keeps coming up for me everything thing I do or everywhere I go, I keep finding this little key, and it's just another one of my magical tools, and it's usually on my altar or in with some stones. I use it in spell work, but it's just a little skeleton key, and as you know, the key represents Goddess Hecate, and maybe she's trying to come through and tell me something, but the key keeps appearing, so I figured I would share it with y'all. So there's the key. One more thing, and then we're going to get into the discussion and wrap it up. I decided, I guess, along the lines of herbs, I decided to bring some fresh dandelion. And the reason I chose the dandelion is for just a couple simple little reasons. And you probably think dandelion doesn't seem to go with the theme of self-love. But like I said, happiness is the key. And the color yellow, it has one of the best properties for happiness. And if you think about it, when you think of the little happy face, the happy face emoji, what color is the happy face? The happy face is the symbol of being happy. It's the big smiling yellow face, and colors do correspond in magic, and each color represents a different type of property or energy, and yellow is the best color to use for happiness. That's why I wanted to include the dandelions. And also, dandelions are great to use when you are trying to meditate, when you are trying to open your third eye, or any type of work where you're trying to enhance your psychic ability. And, I think that could go along the lines of the self-love, because you're trying to achieve something, and that something is self-love. And, in order to achieve anything, you need to meditate, you need to clear your mind, you need to focus, and you need to always try to see the bigger picture, and that is with your third eye. Anytime you're doing any type of magical work, spiritual work, energy work, meditation, remember, you are seeing it with your eyes, but you are trying to see the bigger picture, and that's simply with your third eye. And moving along, I just wanted to incorporate those things. And I do have one other thing I could you've seen it before, but this is my Numat stone, and I use it a lot during meditation. That's exactly why it's up here, but it's a very, very protective stone. And I think when you're trying to achieve self-love, you're going to have to open yourself up a bit, and that's the only way you're going to be able to find your happiness. But before you do that, you need to make sure you are protected, and Numat is very, very protective. So I thought, why not let him hang out with us as well? But moving on again, happiness. That's the key to self-love. And like I said, happiness is just a state of well-being, and it's defined by positive emotions and positive energy. And, there are quite a few reasons why people, try to make excuses why they don't have self-love, or why they're afraid, to try to achieve self-love. And, they'll shy away from it for many, many reasons. I have, and I still do. And, one of those biggest reasons is fear. And, fear, it can be your worst enemy. It can be the greatest downfall. Fear from past trauma, fear from, negative situations, past and present. If you've been hurt emotionally, if you've been hurt physically, pain and hurt, it all goes hand in hand with fear. It could be from abuse. It could be physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse, any type of pain from any source, a bad relationship, unhealthy family dynamics, just a job that is, surrounded with nothing but negativity, It could just be a fear. It could be a phobia, Fear is just, it will cripple you. It will cripple you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So do not let fear be one of those factors. Another reason people shy away from self-love is they're worried about what other people think and say. And I'm guilty of that. I admit it. And, sometimes people, they will say, you are being self-centered, but you're not being self-centered. You're looking out for number one. And, to do that, that is just you trying to achieve self-love. Don't let other people's negative way of thinking influence the way you feel about yourself. People may shy away because they have friends or family or just associates, co-workers, and, those particular people are very negative, and they feel like when they're around these people, like they just cannot find happiness. And that's because unhappy people tend to push their hurt off on other people. So whether they're doing it intentionally or unintentionally, it happens. Unhappy people will try to make you unhappy. They think for some reason it's going to make them feel better, or maybe they're just not thinking. But don't let unhappy people make you where you cannot achieve self-love. Another thing is jealousy. Some people get jealous when they see other people happy. And again, that's their problem that they're dealing with. That's not your issue. That's not anything that you've done wrong or anything that has to do with you. That is them. They have to deal with that, and then they can achieve their self-love. But that's another thing that will make people shy away from, achieving it is, jealous people. And sometimes family is the worst. I mean, I know that's not the case with each and every one, but I'm just saying from my experience, sometimes family, something like a mental illness, that can interrupt you achieving self-love. It can be mental illness, it can be depression, it can be some type of disorder, it can be some type of phobia. There's just so much when it comes to mental illness and, maintaining good mental health. And I'm not going to dive too deep into that, but I will say this: if you're experiencing depression, or you're having, very, very negative thoughts, self-harming thoughts, or harming others, or, any type of mental issue, all I can really say is don't be ashamed, and don't wait, seek professional help. And if you feel that's not an option, or you just don't feel that's the option for you, talk to someone, reach out to someone, please, I beg of you, seek professional help, or reach out to someone you trust, someone just please reach out. It does not make you weak. It does not mean that you're not worthy. It just means you need a helping hand, and we all do at some point or another. No one's perfect, and we're all human. So please, if you're experiencing that, reach out. I want to also say that, You know, self-love, it's just so important, and it makes you happy. You know, if you love yourself, you can love others. And if you love yourself, you're going to be happy in all aspects of your life. Your personal life, you will grow. Your spiritual life, you will grow. You'll have more motivation. You'll want to do things. You'll need to do things. You'll be driven to do things. You will physically be prettier. I kid you not. You will physically be prettier. If you're a male, you will be handsomer. You will be more handsome. There you go. Something about self-love and being happy makes you physically prettier. You are more attractive when you're happy. Think about it. If you look in the mirror, if you look at someone and they're smiling or they're frowning, which way do they look better? You know, sometimes it's the simplest things. A smile can just change, you know, the whole look of a person, the whole attitude of a person. So if you feel good, you look good. And satisfaction. You will have satisfaction in all that you do. You will find peace, inner peace, outer peace. You will have a more positive sense of well-being. You will have a physical, how do I want to say it? Your physical body. You will be healthier if you're happy and you're experiencing nothing but positive vibes. Your body is physically healthier. I'm not saying that, you know, if you're sick and you go find self-love, you're not going to be sick, you're going to be cured. That's not what I'm saying at all, you guys. But the overall, you know, when you're unhappy and you've got negative energy, you know, flowing into your life and even flowing out of you, you know, things like that do affect your immune system. And things like that, just negativity brings nothing but negativity. Low vibrations, that's where the negativity comes from. And if you think about it, low vibrations, that's something that's way down here. And when you're sad, you're down. When you're sick, you're down. When you're mad, you're down. So don't let the negativity cause you to be down, you know, because happiness and self-love, they go hand in hand. And I'm telling you, when you find self-love and you find your happiness, you will physically be healthier. You'll even have the desire to help others. And then that will help you find the love of others, because in order to love someone else, you have to love yourself. You have to. You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. And especially you people out there that are in those twin flame relationships, to love yourself is to love your significant other. So just remember that as well. And you know, I'm gonna add a few more things, and I'm gonna get out of here. But there's a few ways to self-love. That there's a lot of ways to self-love, but these are just a few of my favorite. And number one, positive energy. You've got to just give positive energy. You got to absorb positive energy. You've got to. That's all there is to it. Have compassion. You know, don't be a sucker. Don't let people run over you, but have compassion. You've got to take care of your needs first, because if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of no one else. So always put yourself first. You're not being conceited. You're not being self-centered. You're being logical. You're being smart. And you're going to achieve self-love, which leads to happiness. and just let go. Let go of the past and forgive, and then you will take your power back and always protect yourself. And you guys, I really got to go, and remember, in order to achieve self-love, find your happiness, and remember as well, if you resonate with anything, like and subscribe, and if you believe, you will receive. Bye, you guys.